First and foremost, hail Lord Doomcock. I've been a fan of Doomcock's for over a year now, since he had less than 10,000 subs, mostly because of the Star Trek news that he was covering. I'm a Star Trek fan and trust and believe when Picard and STD Season 3 come out, I'll be covering that. Doomcock has been getting a lot of shit over the last few months, as his sub count has been rising, with shills attempting to discredit him for his Star Wars inside information. And it seems as more and more information about the Rise of Skywalker comes out, the more and more Lord Doomcock is vindicated. For the people that have been calling him a liar, your credit is going down, as well it should. Effing shills. Doomcock's being proven more and more correct. And I think that as the months pass, we're going to find out more information about what happened behind the scenes that will further vindicate what Doomcock was telling us from his unnamed sources, who apparently had bigger dicks than your unnamed sources. So leaked images have been coming out on Reddit, and they've been getting taken down, scrubbed. I hear that Reddit users have been banned for posting this information. It's not going to stop. It's already out there. Most of the leaks that were put out about this movie in the previous months have been proven correct. Everything from Raylo. I can't wait for that fire to burn. Everything from Raylo to the Wayfinder, to Palpatine being alive, just every nonsensical thing you could possibly think of to throw into this movie. Just about everything but the kitchen sink. I have no doubt that there is so much extra footage about this movie, they could probably put out 2 different cuts in the future that would show probably different storylines altogether. The complete ineptitude of Kathleen Kennedy and her story group has really come to a full fruition now, as shills who have been on the downslope for a long time now, just like the access media that nobody trusts, are scrambling to try and find some form of relevancy, trying to cater to the vast majority of the fandom, like the Fandom Menace, who have been just disillusioned by them for so long. You can't reinforce the false narrative. You can't call fans toxic. You can't just expect that the fans are going to let this type of shit go, calling us a minority of toxic fans, when it's obvious that it's a majority of the Star Wars fandom that has problems with these films, both on a creative level and on an ideological level. It wasn't the Star Wars fans that brought ideology into Star Wars. It's the people that Disney allowed to be hired as a story group that has really been pushing this false narrative. I've spent some time listening to the other side, detractors of the Fandom Menace, taking notes of how they think about what's going on. And this is the problem. They're not looking at the entire situation. These are people that just want to look at one part, one side, one aspect of the entire argument and go from there and try and shame people from there. Like making a pie with no crust. Like making a peanut butter jelly sandwich with no bread. When you don't have the entire argument or the entire debate, when you're just coming from one single position, from a multi-tiered and multifaceted debate, you look like an idiot. You're not taking everything into account. And here we are. Meanwhile, the shills, I think everybody remembers Scott Mendelsohn. How can we forget? He's been shilling and talking trash on the fans for quite a long time now, pushing those false narratives, making sure to remind us what all the lies are. Scott Mendelsohn says, at worst, I expected The Rise of Skywalker to be a well-made movie that I didn't like or whose story choices I agreed with. I was not expecting a genuinely bad movie with video game plotting, thin characters, weak action, and endless exposition of no consequence. Heartbreaking. Where were you at TLJ, man? What have you been doing since The Last Jedi? Talking trash on the fans. Now all of a sudden you want street cred? Now, bro, you're a shill. We know you're a shill. John Campea, who's been keeping some of his tweets hidden, obviously because people are calling him out as the shill that he is. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker reaction. There's a few big, great moments, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to love this movie. Unfortunately, I'm just not one of them. Hopefully, I'll like it a little bit more after I see it again tomorrow. Well, let's see, you're talking trash and you're going to go see it again. You're going to pay to go see it again. You're going to go see it again. John Campea has been on the downside with the fandom for a long time now. He's probably one of those people that's seen his numbers go down, his viewership go down, his watch hours go down. And that's of your own making, John. You've come out against the Star Wars fandom for a long time now. You are a shill, rubber stamped, And it's going to take a very long time and a lot of apologizing before the fandom forgives you for all the crap that you've thrown at them for the last 2 years. Go see it multiple times. Go be a Disney shill. Elizabeth Banks, on the other hand, Elizabeth Banks, who created that terrible Charlie's Angels film that just wasn't sexy, although it did have one of my future ex-wives in it, Kirsten Stewart. Hi, honey. She should be someone that we should be looking to for critiques on modern films. She says, no spoilers, I cried. The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of that movie, episode 9, has the best no-sex love scene I've seen in a long time. Now, any of you that's been paying attention to the Raylos, and probably not all of them, I don't like blanket statements, you guys know that. I'm sure there's a couple Raylo shippers out there that are in the realm of normal. These people have been harassing Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley, wishing for his kid to die, just so that they can live out their fantasy of Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver having sex. These are awful people. They're now endorsed by Disney. Let me repeat that. These people who have been harassing their actors for a long time, disgustingly, just hunting them down, taking pictures, very invasive, horrible things have been said by these Raylos. They're endorsed by Disney Lucasfilm, and they're endorsed by Elizabeth Banks. Zillah Valentine, someone I have no idea who this person even is. His quote on Twitter is probably one of the most shilliest of shill things that I have ever read. Let's look at this. Just got done watching Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. Well, at least he could spell Rise of Skywalker correctly. All I can say is wow, wow, and wow. It pays homage to all of the films and does a great job of wrapping up this epic story. Phenomenal in every way. Obviously, Zillah is not a Star Wars fan. As the leaks are being proven more and more true, and we understand that they are retconning every single movie that came before it, that they're making several characters' story arcs just invalid, wiping them away, taking away that wonderful moment at the end of Return of the Jedi, Anakin Skywalker's redemption, everything that Luke achieved. The Disney trilogy is not Star Wars. It's Star Wars in name, but it doesn't honor the legacy. Zillah, good shilling, buddy. You're really genuine. I'm sure that I didn't know who you were before, and I'm definitely going to pay attention to what you think in the future. If I ever see your name anywhere attached to anything, I'll know you're bought and paid for. So again, we come back to people like Dictor Van Doomcock of Overlord DVD. If you haven't subscribed to Overlord DVD, please go there and do so. Doomcock is probably one of the best YouTubers that I've ever seen. Along with a wonderful group of channels like Nerdrotic and Midnight's Edge, his commentary is bar none. I'm sure as the weeks go on, Lord Doomcock will be further vindicated, and I'm sure that by 6 months from now, the test screenings and the different edits and cuts of the Rise of Skywalker, those things will come out as truth. And again, Doomcock will be further vindicated. I'm a firm believer in what Doomcock has given us, and I'm a supporter of his channel. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm definitely going to have more content coming. I will be seeing the dumpster fire of Soywoker in a couple of days, and I'm going to have a review out for that. I feel that I have to. I'm also really interested in this dumpster fire and to see if every single leak is true. And if they are, I'm going to let you know. I'm sorry if that disappoints any of the boycott crowd. I just feel like it's something that I have to do. It's in my wheelhouse. It's part of my channel. It's what I'm doing. I don't want to give Disney money, so maybe I'll go see Cats. Love you guys. Stay true to each other. Let's watch this dumpster fire burn together and be good to each other.